How's everybody doing today? This is Robert from Breaking the Chain USA. And today, what we're going to talk about, CEOs and some of the exchanges and how a CEO can help or make an exchange. And some of the exchanges you may want to look at as far as being trustworthy with your digital assets. So we'll go ahead and go from here. Thank you.
How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Breaking the Chain USA. This is Robert. Got a pretty interesting video coming up for you. Talk some about XRP and about another crypto digital asset company that actually has a real use case here in North Carolina as well. And we'll go into some news with XRP with Ripple. They're making some waves right now. XRP, higher trading volumes than Bitcoin in Mexico right now. Starting to pass Bitcoin in Mexico. And what we're looking at is this is on the Bitso exchange. Bitso partnered with Ripple for exchange liquidity for remittance channel. And saying it's the most active digital asset pairing with the Mexican peso. And it makes sense because it's so fast. And this is going to catch on. I think it's going to catch on like wildfire with other currencies as well. There's a lot of money sent from the United States to Mexico back and forth. And, I know friends of mine that live in North Carolina and they have family in Mexico. They work in construction, agriculture, there were jobs here. And I know they were going down to Piggly Wiggly to use Western Union and all those places. And they would tell me that it would take a week, 2-3 weeks for the money to get there. And it was, the fees, this was like a year ago, $100, $50, high fees to send that money. Now comes MoneyGram. A lot of these Latino people here in North Carolina are going to Walmart and using MoneyGram. MoneyGram is cheap. You can send, for a fraction, $5, $10, a few $1,000, a few $100, few $1,000 to Mexico. MoneyGram is using XRP for some of its liquidity for remittance to transfer money from the United States to Mexico. And their families are getting that money within a few minutes, not having to wait. And I think that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to see this happen. And, this was announced last year. And it makes sense because it's so cheap. And I think you're going to see banks, you're going to see other financial institutions follow MoneyGram's lead and what they have done. And this article right here is Bitcoinist.com actually, and it goes into detail. And states right here, family capitalizing on the huge cross-border flows between the U.S. and Mexico, between 30 to 36 billion a year. And they're seeing that transaction just surpassing Bitcoin right now. And that is amazing. And people are starting to learn. I hate to say it. I mean, a lot of you out there who are diehard Bitcoin fans, Bitcoin is antiquated technology. It's like Napster was. I mean, it's like the Napster. Napster's not even around. Well, it is around, but it's not really a player anymore with iTunes and everything else that's out there that has evolved. It's kind of like the Model T kind of, or the Atari video game. When Atari first came out, everybody had to have an Atari. It was the first one. It did well. Then Nintendo came along, PlayStation. And now you have everything else, out there. So, XRP has got so many channels to increase liquidity and use case from a tip bot, transferring money. I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, it's a proliferation of different things they can use that Bitcoin can't do. Bitcoin is just too slow to settle transactions. Starbucks, I don't know if they're using Bitcoin to settle transactions, but if a lot of people start to use that, their network is so slow it'll get bogged down. Starbucks is going to find out they're going to have to go with XRP or something else. I assume they didn't do the research on that. But, like they say, You learn from your mistakes, but smart people and smart businesses learn from other people's mistakes. So Starbucks may be one of these case studies you read about in grad school. We used to read about case studies in Starbucks. So Starbucks may be another good case study that people in business school will be reading about in 2 or 3 years. Why not? Why they shouldn't have used Bitcoin and what happened? So at least it makes for a good strategy and case study. Nonetheless, am I right? Okay, I do like Starbucks. They do have good. It's expensive, but the coffee is good. Good atmosphere. All right. Now, what happened today? BitMEX. BitMEX is, pull it up right here. Get a little ahead of myself right here. Here we go. BitMEX, they rolled out a new financial project for XRP. BitMEX is pretty huge. It's a swap, XRP swap contracts on BitMEX. BitMEX is very big in derivatives, one of the largest derivative exchanges. And it's called Swap for XRP. That it would introduce contracts February the 5th, which is tomorrow. And they will be paired against the US dollar. And they will offer investors the ability to trade with a leverage up to 50 times. And all margin will be posted in BTC, and traders will be able to long or short the XRP USD contract by only using Bitcoin as collateral, similar to longing or shorting on Wall Street. Calls, puts, But in this case, actually, it's going to, you have to use Bitcoin. It's what you're going to be using. This collateral won't be cash. We did run this. The CEO, Arthur Hayes is the CEO of BitMEX. And he seems like a smart guy. He went to school at Wharton. He has a degree in economics. And I went to school at Wharton last semester for their fintech specialization. I completed that. It's like a 2-month program. It was an online program, great program. We talked actually a lot about XRP and Ripple. I think Mr. Hayes may want to go back to Wharton and actually enroll in that program I was in before he opens his mouth sometimes and says some stuff. I mean, he calls, the tweet today, he calls Ripple XRP or dog shit. Who knows? Who cares? It's more than zero. I mean, the guy's young, I guess. And you're a CEO, and there's so many people complaining about this today. And, they're saying, why would a CEO say something like this? You have venture capitalists out there. You have clients. I know for a fact several clients pulled out of BitMEX today because of this. And you look at this. This is a CEO of a company. This guy right here. I mean, I really can't figure it out because the guy seems like he's intelligent, unless he's getting paid by somebody to diss XRP for some reason. That could be the reason. It could be. I mean, who knows? I mean, but I can't believe myself a CEO would say something like this. I mean, this is like if you invest with Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, Edward Jones. How about if you're a stockbroker posted stuff like this? I mean, how would you want to invest? Would you want to put your hard-earned money and trust in that person? Common sense is no. And the words that, people saw this today. There's people on Wall Street I know that actually are investors in XRP and are looking for a trading platform like, derivatives and what have you. Then you have Fidelity. They're going to have their trading platform, and Charles Schwab bought them out. So you have some very intelligent people on Wall Street that have looked at this statement that he made today, and they're iffy. And a lot of them probably are not going to invest. They're probably going to wait for a bigger platform to come along to invest in. And I did some research on BitMEX, and they've had some problems in the past. For example, there were investigation by the CFTC and by the Commodities Futures and Trading Commission. You're not supposed to allow Americans to trade on this site, being overseas where they allow American citizens to trade on it as well, so they're being investigated. And anti-money laundering regulations, that's come up as well. And they're still, from the looks of this, they're still monitoring everything, you know. And the COO, she left the firm due to that as well. She saw something coming that didn't seem right, so she left. Arthur Hayes, you know, I'm trying to figure out, of all the people, you know, how did this guy? I know he has a good background in finance. From what I've read, his financial background, working after he went to Wharton, he went overseas to Hong Kong and worked with financial firms over there, you know, and evidently he had to be successful to be a CEO of something like this. But it amazes me, the CEOs out there, there's a lot of people, they just don't, a lot of them, I'm not saying anything about this guy, but there's a lot of CEOs out there who just don't have common sense. I mean, I'm outside of a McDonald's right now, just ate. And if you remember back this a few months ago, the CEO of McDonald's, he's having an affair with some girl that works at McDonald's. This guy's making millions and millions of dollars a year. Well, it's against company policy. He gets fired. I mean, the guy has making millions and millions of dollars, and he jeopardizes his job for something like that. You got that kind of money, and you want to have an affair with somebody, or have a relation. I don't know if he was married or whatever, but have a relationship with somebody. I just got back from Las Vegas for probably less than $800, probably for everything. This guy could have probably flown out of Vegas, gone to one of the brothels in Nye County, about 45 minutes away in Pahrump, Nevada, Chicken Ranch, whatever, Sherry's Ranch, and probably had a blast, you know, or $2,000, whatever. I don't know what it costs in those places. I never spent money in there. But he could go out there and have a blast, and nobody would know, nobody would care, you know, big deal. But some of these CEOs make the stupidest decisions I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I don't know if a lot of money makes you do that to you or what have you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just, you know, people just don't think, you know. It seems like the poorer people like myself use more common sense. It's unbelievable. But it's amazing, you know. You know, and you know, like I said, they're being investigated. I mean, come on. I mean, this guy's got the world in his hands right here, and he doesn't know. Why does he want to piss off venture capitalists and investors? And I can tell you another story, actually, similar to this. Linden Club. When I was doing my graduate studies at Clemson University, we had a venture capitalist from California. He came out and spoke to us. Warren Wise, I think was his name. And he worked with Facebook with the IPO. Well, he has IPO for Linden. He's responsible for doing the IPO of Linden Club. So I invested a lot of money in this. And I lost a lot of money. A lot. And the reason for that, the concept of Linden Club, peer-to-peer, you know, it was something new at the time. The CEO, LaPlanche, he was overinflating spreadsheets to make it look, taking out loans to making it look like the company was more profitable than what it was. He actually gave a friend of his $22 million loan he didn't ask for. And because of that, he lost his job and the stock sunk. It lost so much in value. Unbelievable. And being an investor, you know, you're going to have this. I've had my ass kicked with companies like this. Another company, a medical company, I went to Tallahassee, was based in Florida. I went to Tallahassee. I drove down there and raised hell with the Florida Trade Commission. I actually I went to Pam Boney. She was the Attorney General for Florida at the time. Went to her office and the Lieutenant Governor's office in Tallahassee for 2 days. And I tried my best to go after this guy. But in this case, now that case, they had loopholes where the CEO got away. But this case, actually, He was sued, class action lawsuit. I won't tell you how much I got, but I did get some compensation back. I actually got a check in the mail this summer for being a part of the class action lawsuit. It was more than what I thought it would be. It wasn't what I lost, but it was more than what I thought it was. Better than nothing, though. So you have to, I mean, it was a shame that had to happen. But again, you have CEOs like this who, this guy was Harvard educated. I mean, like, come on, Jesus. You do something like that. But, this is a good learning example for other companies to learn from, like I said. But we'll talk about some other CEOs. James Goodnight, he is the CEO of SAS Software. Went to North Carolina State University, used to teach there up in Cary, North Carolina. He's a billionaire, like the 77th richest person in the world, worth about $10 billion. SAS is the largest private software company. He built everything. He started this from the ground up in 1976. Still located where they're at Research Triangle Park. A lot of the software that's used for the slot machines in Las Vegas, they use SAS software. I've noticed that a lot of them do. So a lot of them, they're computerized now. But SAS is into artificial intelligence, digital assets. I have talked to them about XRP. Someone actually responded back, and they said it does fit with their business model. Haven't really heard anything else about that. SAS does so much for the community. I mean, helping people out. James Goodnight, he's an incredible CEO. Someone said he used to drive like a 2005 GMC or 2010 GMC Tahoe. He would go to Bojangles every morning and get biscuits for everybody, just like anybody else, I mean, billionaire. That's the richest guy in the Carolinas. Great guy. And their company is just one of the best, ranked as the best place to work every year by Forbes magazine. It seems like one or two. They have everything on site for you there. I mean, daycare, car care, like a city there. Incredible place. Especially, I went to Las Vegas last year. The tour bus, shuttle bus from the airport, the party that I actually dropped some people off there. Got to take a little tour of that facility. It is incredible. If you get a chance in Cary, Raleigh, definitely check it out. All right. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Information on Ripple, it said it should continue to be, it was bullish in January. Going back to XRP, we're looking at everything was up so much, 20%, almost 30%, really. Solid note, fundamentals are there. I mean, we're seeing a lot of really, really good articles in XRP that expect a lot of stuff to happen. Like I said, you never know. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. I wish regulations would be passed, but anyway. Yes, something's going to take some time. And another CEO I want to talk about is a local CEO in Wilmington of a digital asset company called KWH Renewable Energy. KWH, what they do, they actually buy used, this is a roadmap right here, and they have partnerships throughout the world. They buy used solar power that's not from companies that has that customers didn't use, and they put it on a blockchain and resell it to other countries at a very affordable rate. So you only use what you need. It's a peer-to-peer system. It's actually their website, KWH Coin, based in Wilmington, North Carolina. Blockchain-based community ecosystem backed by renewable energy. What it does, it takes the physical units of energy and smart meters, sensor readings, and puts it on a tokenized asset on the blockchain. And I haven't seen many companies like this, to be honest with you. There's 1.2 billion around the globe who could use renewable energy sources. Other countries don't have it. And this is a great concept. There's a video right here. I can't play video with my audio. It distorts the sound. But this video gives a very detailed description by KWH. This is really high tech. Based in Wilmington, North Carolina, along the coast too as well. And it gives a little bit about their capital expenditures as well. They really have their stuff together. I mean, they have a better roadmap and business plan, white paper, then language below. Then you download that. Then I've already looked at it. Then a lot of your bigger companies have. Actually, some of those I'm invested in, believe it or not. But with that, I'm going to go and take a look at the CEO. Mr. Newkirk, he is the founder of KWH. Got a really good story about him. He went to East Carolina University for his undergrads, where I went to school at. He's from Pender County, here in coastal North Carolina. And he used to live in California for a while. And they do have an office in California, Silicon Valley, and one in Wilmington, North Carolina. And they go into detail, about why he started the company, what he the purpose of the company, how it can grow, and very detailed, very great interview. This guy is always out in the community. He's always doing stuff. There's a picture of this gentleman right here. He actually teaches courses at Cape Fear Community College about digital assets. And see right here, he's involved in a lot of community events, a lot of awards he's won. A very underrated company. They're located right here downtown Wilmington. If you're familiar with Wilmington, North Carolina, the historic district, 3rd Street, it's right here. And this guy, he's a good CEO. I mean, he cares about the company, cares about the people. I mean, this is what you want in a CEO. I mean, not like the guy from BidNext that just, blurts out anything. I mean, you don't do things that way. But this guy seems like he's very level-headed and he's very intelligent. We need more people like this man. I tell you, he's an asset to the coastal Carolinas. Definitely check out some of his work if you get a chance. Incredible. All right. Well, that's about all I have for right now as far as today's rant or today's information goes on XRP. Like I said, I really don't. I'm a kind of person. I don't really look at the numbers. I see they're up today. They could be down tomorrow. I try to look at the longevity and where things are headed. Well, I base mine on fundamentals. I'm big into XRP. I'm huge into VeChain, Holochain, Apollo, even KWH. I mean, that's, I think that with the right back end, with that, maybe some crowdfunding, investors coming in, venture capitalists maybe, down the road. I think that could be something that would be very profitable as well. It's got real, the thing I like about it, it's got real utility. KWH has real utility, like VeChain, XRP, Holochain, even Apollo. Apollo is kind of a broad brush. Different people can use it, but it's kind of conditioned to developing countries where people don't have a lot. It makes it more beneficial and useful to have some of their own currencies sometime. So, let's all hope for the best. A lot of people are talking about exit strategies and stuff. My exit strategy, I deal with Coinbase. I have everything wired with my bank where I do my. So it's more of a financial planner, not like Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, Merrill Lynch, but banks can do it too. Financial planners seem to work more with wiring information. I have a wire set up already tested. PayPal, you can do like so much, like up to $9,000 a day. You can transfer to PayPal. The wire is supposed to be really effective. What I would do if it were to go way, way up, I would test it out. Wire maybe $100, with the digital assets from Coinbase to my account, just to make sure it goes through before you do anything big. Then go from there. And some people, state taxes, if I made a lot, if I was, up there in the millions, I probably would drive down the road 5 hours and go to Florida and they have to pay 7% state tax. South Carolina 7% capital gains tax for state. North Carolina's 5.5. I think Georgia's up there too, but it's a lot of rich people go to Florida, go to Nevada, Texas to do that. It's up to the person, but we'll leave it at that. And I wish everybody have a great night, and hopefully more good news will continue with digital assets, and more real utility will happen. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you so much.